booth. A very warm welcome, pool fans, from wherever you're watching. We are back live, as you heard the MC, to find out who will book their place in the last 32. In with myself in the commentary box is none other than Chris Reinhold. Chris, nice to have you with us.
Hey, how's it going? Ready to sweat some pool?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. You know the man on the right better than most, Chris. Billy Thorpe, who's won the leg. What can you tell us about Billy Thorpe and his game and, you know, his style of play in 8-ball?
Yeah, he's a very dynamic player, really good at banks and carom, so when he has to come with certain shots, he definitely can come with them. We're going to see, though, he's up against a really tough player who beat SVB, knocked SVB out of the tournament, I think. Or at least beat him on the winner's side. I think he was to knock him out of the tournament. But very solid player. Kind of resembles a lot of his brother, Kledio Kaçi. So we'll see. This is going to be a great match, and we'll see how they're breaking, first of all, because the break is very important in this format.
Yeah, spot on there, Chris. And, you know, I'm sure it's not gone unnoticed to you as well. We've seen so many variations of the break, and, well, Billy Thorpe is going head on in the first attempt, at least.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to try to hit them square first and see how they go. And if you keep rolling, keep doing it. If you break dry, probably switch. Nothing down.
So just to get a good understanding of what you've just said, if you were in Billy's shoes after this one, you would break from a different spot?
Yeah, you have to mix it up. I mean, winter break, you don't get as many breaks as normally, unless you win some games, obviously. So you kind of need to gain back your momentum. So if you break from one spot and it broke dry, you should probably change spots just to get a different look at something.
Straight away, Kledio going for the stripes here. I was wondering if he would be tempted to play a gentle nudge on that 2-ball just to open up the 11 a bit more. Wasn't without any risk, of course. Now, there is a pathway to get to the 11. That's the gap between the 6 and the 2 and the... Sorry, 6 and the 3 and the 1. If he can land in that line, he should be able to attack the 11. And I think he's played exactly into that line.
I would imagine 9-ball will be next. We do have to clear that pocket out for the 13, I believe, by the 8 to the lower right. Unless you can get around the 7-ball somehow with the cue ball, I don't see... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to shoot the 13 in the lower right. I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know, it kind of feels like that 10-ball is a little bit in the way as well to land nicely on the 13. And let's not forget, he needs to land on the high side on the 13 just to play comfortable position on the 10 as well. So there is a bit of precision required on these next two shots. Well, judging by this angle, he might have to play a little nudge on the 8-ball here. I don't think he's got many other options.
Yeah, seeing the overhead, I don't think the 13 passes the 4. I think he's going to have to run into the 13-8 on this shot, and he has a lot of angle, so he's coming in with some speed. It's very tough to control that.
Yeah, if he can somehow play this soft, a soft screw, just hit the 8, he should be on the 13, but it's a tricky shot.
Almost got away from him there.
Yeah. It's going to be tough to hold for the black ball, you would feel, Chris.
Yeah, you might play for the 8 in the side pocket, the right-hand side pocket. 3 rails. See what he does. Uh-oh.
I'll tell you what, he might just be on this 8 ball, you know. Well, even though that 1 ball has now made things a lot harder. Is he called the...
He's going to bank it. I don't think he can see the whole ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the referee say corner pocket, but I wasn't sure which corner pocket.
Not a bad attempt.
No, I think the problem started when he dropped the 9 ball in, landed a bit low on the 10 ball, had to play a nudge, and it was just too thin to hold for the black. And like you said, not a bad attempt, but nevertheless, it's a great opportunity for Billy to take the first rack here.
Yeah, I mean, he should get out here. Not a lot of traffic. No problem balls, really. 3 sets up for the 2, the 6, all that. So he should be good for a 1-0 lead. And I think he will change up his break spot. But, I mean, you can't... You kind of have to do your best with this one. And then you have to take the gifts that are given to you, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that you only have influence on one thing mainly. It's what you do at the table. So like you said, whatever is there, you have to make the most of it. And it doesn't matter who you're playing, they're gonna feel the pressure if you keep, you know, punishing mistakes. Now I do have a interesting stat for you, Chris. You know Billy, I'm sure, better than most. And he's got an unbelievable record against Carlo Biado. And I'll just double check it, but he's played Carlo Biado. Let me see. Five times and beaten him 4 times. That's an 80% win rate against the former world champion. Double world champion, actually.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Two to the 8, last 2 tasks for Billy this rack, and it'll be up 1-0 and breaking. Let's see if he changes the break spot. I imagine he'll break from the side now. Uh-oh. Cue ball, where are you going?
These gentlemen have only met once before, and it was Kledio who took that one, 10-3, so he does lead the head-to-head.
Same spot again. I don't know. I probably would have changed spots. I mean, if he doesn't change break spots after 2 dry breaks, I don't think it's wise.
Yeah, I see what you mean there, and remains to be seen what the pattern will be moving forward. I do recall, actually, like you said in the intro, Kledio did knock out Shane Van Boning, and Shane never changed the spot the entire match. Not once did he try something else. He was breaking from the side, second ball, or maybe even head on, but you know, it was not paying out for him. One of the main reasons he lost that match, of course.
Yeah, Shane's a little stubborn sometimes, but he's allowed to be. Solids it is. Another wide open table for Kaçi. 3 does not pass the 9 in the side. He's going to have to do some other route to get there. He might go 2 ball now and in between the 2 stripes. And then back over for the 3 in the left-hand side. See what he does here. Going for the 7, I believe, or the 5. I kind of would have tried to be aggressive on that 3 ball now. But, I mean, it really has the top right, the top left, so he has options. It's not like it's hidden or anything. Maybe the 3 ball last.
Yeah, you can take the 3 if he wants after the 6 here. He's got options. He could also take the 5-1 and then, like you said, the 3 as the last. The only worry is that 11 is pretty big ball covering the 8. So you prefer to play position on the 8 from the 1 or the 5, for example. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's played for the 3 now. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to play a stop shot here on the 3 to leave yourself an angle on the 5 to get to the 1 ball. You don't want too much angle.
Yeah, I would have shot the 3 there also. 5, 1, 8. 8 can go on the bottom right if it's easier from the 1 to the 8. You don't want to bring in that 15 into play. Or that 11. I don't know what ball that is.
Could have done with, I would say, 2 inches more. This is a bit thinner than would have required. Yeah, how would you play this, Chris? Go to the right or the left from this camera angle?
Go to the left side on the where this can use a lot of right spin and slow roll it. There you go. Should be okay.
Billy Thorpe is one of those characters that I would put in the category of must-see TV. Wears his heart on his sleeve and always entertaining to watch. Now, Chris, you've been around the venue. Who has impressed you the most so far in this year's World 8-Ball Championships?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
I said you were around the venue and you've seen a lot of pool action these last 5-6 days. So who's impressed you the most in this year's World 8-Ball Championships?
Actually, I'm not really sure, but the two players that have impressed me a lot is Justin Bergman and Savannah Easton. Savannah Easton got a lot better, and it has not gone unnoticed. Speaking of better, look at that break. He switched up, went for the second ball, and now he's got some options. I think he might go 14 and try to draw into the 15-7, or he could shoot the 5 into the 15-7, which might be the better shot, and just play solids.
Yeah, both options would work. It's just a matter of preference, really. And I like why you mentioned the 5 instead of the 3, even though the 3 is a bit easier. I think that 5 ball is slightly tied up as well, so might as well put that in a better position.
Yeah, I also said the 5 over the 3 just because the 3 ball, if you're going to shoot the 3, you would have been jacking up over the 6, which wouldn't have been great. But yeah, so you could shoot 5 and then 3 here, 2, and then, but I think he's going to get that 2 out of the way now, which is also a good option. But I think that you got to get rid of the 5 and the 3 now while you're close to it and don't have to come back and get position on it.
Yeah, I fully agree. Once you get rid of the 5 and a 3, those were the only 2 balls on the lower section of the table. And as soon as you get that 2 ball out of the way, everything goes. Would have liked a bit more angle on this 4 ball. He's pretty limited with his cue ball. Would have liked to be a bit closer the center of the table. Now you can only roll forward or backwards.
Yeah, I would have got that 2 ball out of there a little earlier, just so now you don't have to go the 2 and then the 6 back to back. You know, it's tough to navigate that and easy to mess up. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this at all. He's going to have to draw back all the way past the middle of the table to just have a cut shot. And these pockets are tight. You can't really thump it in. You can't really stun that far away. I mean, he's going to have to try, but it's definitely a tough shot.
Yeah. Kind of feels like that little slip up on the 4 ball where he didn't leave himself an angle is compounded to the situation. Yeah, have a look at this. How do you like these? That's a horrible ball to take on.
Yeah, even the straightest cue actions in the world wouldn't like shooting this one for the money. You have to put a little bit of high right on it, just a hint, because you don't want to scratch. It's just, these rails are so tough, you just got to get through the ball and stay down and hope you make it. Amazing shot.
That could easily land in the top 10 of the highlight reels. That was a fantastic shot.
Billy thought there was a good chance he was getting back to the table, and I don't blame him.
I guess the conclusion is we can put Kledio amongst those of the straightest shooters.
Yeah, him and his brother.
Kledio Kaçi sitting at 811 Fargo rate. That's a pretty decent average. His current ranking in the WNT is number 17, so he is definitely improving all the time. He's only 19, let's not forget, so those numbers you would have imagined will only improve. And Billy Thorpe on the other side, well, his Fargo rate is 778. That is also pretty decent, and his WNT ranking is 33. Nothing down, Chris. Couple of balls tied up.
He's getting another opportunity from a few dry breaks. Let's see if he can run into this 3-ball. Open up the 13. I don't think he did. It might have half a pocket, but I know that he wanted more than that. Maybe the 9 and come into the 13. I don't think he got that much angle on it though.
Yeah, it's very tight. Past the 3-ball. He's actually in a bit of trouble now because that 12 is also very congested.
Yeah, I might even play safe here. I'm not even sure I'd try to run all these balls. It's not. They're just not laying in a way that is conducive to running it out. But he's gonna try to make something happen if he keeps clearing them off. I think he has half a pocket. If he does have half a pocket, he could roll it and play the 12 in the lower right next.
Yeah. Judging by that shot selection, that is going to be the game plan here. Otherwise, you can't really legislate for what he's tried there. So, yeah, and he's dead straight on this. So, in terms of cue ball, he could not have played the cue ball in a better place. Yeah, went in pretty comfortable in the end.
Yeah, Billy's IQ as a player is very good, so I don't think he would have kept running them if he knew that there was nothing in the end.
Now this next shot, you don't want to be sloppy with the cue ball. You need to leave yourself a nice angle. And I'm just wondering if he can just avoid running into the 5, because it doesn't look like the 10 goes past the 15. So it'll have to be the 15 first and then the 10 probably in the side, maybe even the bottom left corner pocket if you can land straight on it.
Oh, he tried to force up for that in the side. I personally would have went to the corner, overhit it a little bit, but I think he can just roll this in and hold the cue ball for the 8 in the top left. I don't like elevating here if I don't have to, but you have to hit it hard enough to get the object ball there. There it is. Tie it up at 2. See if he changes up his break. I really hope he does. Kaçi's having some success with the second ball break, the cut break. So let's see if he copies him.
Yeah, so that would be my next question. You as a player, when you're out there and you've tried a few variations, do you observe what the opponent does, or do you think to yourself, okay, I've tried this, I've tried that, now I'm gonna do a certain spot, or you're always trying to scan what the other player is doing simultaneously?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you broke dry twice, and that's the only reason that you're not up a few games. So I don't know. I just think you have to kind of play how the table wants you to play, and it obviously does not like the. Yeah, see, he's already going to the right side. I mean, he's copying what he's doing. That is the move. That's what we call in pool. That is the move.
I do wonder if he's breaking second ball, or yeah, second ball break. One ball down. As is often the case, when you break the second ball, there's always a few balls tied up. The most obvious one is that 6 and the 15 on the left side of the table.
Yeah, going for the side here. I think I go for the. Yeah, I would have went for the top left corner on that one. Side pockets on these tables are very tough. I'm not saying that's why he missed, but definitely the side pockets are 4 and an 1/8 inch pocket, and they're not forgiving. Not at all.
No, we've seen many balls missed over the course of these last 6 days in the middle pocket, so that's definitely a factor. And you can use the angle now on the 10 to play a little nudge. I would think right in the joint of the 15 and the 6, that would be ideal. That way you can control the cue ball. You don't need a huge bump, just a gentle one. Just like that. Perfectly played. Yeah, just having a look. If that 14 goes past the 1 into the side, that would be very handy, because if he plays a good positional shot on the 9, doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball to land on the 14 into the side pocket.
I think he's going to play the 14 in the top right. It's just tough to get there, and then also the shape on the 9 is also tough. So unless he can play in between the 6 and the 14 now with the 15, off the 15, and then stun 2 rails for the 9 and the side after that, I think that might be his plan. I don't know about this. It must go on the side, like you said.
Yeah, but he's left himself way too much angle on this. He's made it awkward now. You might actually have to play a very risky shot now for the 14 into the same corner pocket. You're almost looking to land your cue ball center table, but that one ball is going to be a hindrance. Unless he wants to slow roll this in. Oh, I made it look easy. And I do wonder if he can draw it straight back to the side and avoid running into the 2. That would be perfect. If not, you'll have to settle with a slight angle on the 8 ball here after the 14. This is not the type of 8 ball you would expect a player from his caliber to miss, but I'm not saying this is unmissable.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. He's hitting the 3rd ball. He's getting a pretty big spread there. But Billy has a chance to do something here. I'm not sure if I'd actually even attack here. I might pick a solid or stripe and then I'd play safe. Unless I can open up that 9-2 and that 4-10. Because then you'd have a real chance at doing something here.
I mean, let's say if he's going for the solids here, and that is only presuming that he can take away the 2 ball right here, right now. If he can leave himself a half wall angle on the 7, he should be able to come off the top rail and just bump into the 4. He would have a shot on the 1 into the right corner pocket, but it all hinges on this first shot. Can he get through to the 2 ball here? You could use the 5 to go closer towards the 2. That's also an option. And right now we're only focused on the 2 ball. Does that 3 ball pass the 9? It looks like it just does. Oh, he's called a 10 ball. So he's going this for the stripes now. Well, I do know one thing. It's not going to be easy, this layout for him.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the stripes just because the 9 doesn't really pass. And then there's 4 balls right there by the side pocket that don't really have pockets. You got to clear out that 2 ball. They're just sitting kind of weird, but let's see what he does here. He might go for the 11 on the side next. Oh. Has to go 11 in the bottom right, or the top left as we look, bottom right on this side. You can't back off now. You kind of have to go with it.
Yeah, this is a very tough shot. He's gonna play it with pace as well. Oh, maybe not. He's rolled it in. What a great shot that was. I'll tell you what, he's got a chance now to run this out. That 2-ball having dropped is very good
Yeah,
news.
he definitely made it runnable. He might even have to draw into this 13 here. But you don't want to do anything too crazy. Just go for the combo. Yeah, that's what he tried. Look at that. He might get out here from there. That'd be an amazing out. One of the top 10 outs for sure this tournament.
That's one thing about 8-ball, which is, I wouldn't per se go as far as to say underrated, but there is a lot more room for creativity. When he started this run, it looked very unlikely that he would run out, but, well, as he's lost his cue ball there, that's way too far. But he's already made a couple of tricky shots. Can he make another one? Arguably the most important one.
Yeah, got too much on that one. Drew back too far. Man, that was such an amazing out. But I have faith in his banking. Let's see if he can bank this one time cross side and tie up the game. We cut it in?
Yeah, he called the corner.
Oh, I thought he was banking it cross side. That was a hell of an out right there. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry for my weird response. That was, I thought he was banking it cross side. I saw it go all the way to the top left somehow. It threw me off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I felt like that. I felt like those parkours. I believe it's called Ninja Warriors or something. I felt like that, but you know, he passed the test. That was an amazing out.
Yeah, he probably had 4 or 5 shots in that whole out that was really, really, really strong. Just had to make something happen, and he did, and that's why we love to watch Billy. All right, Thorpe to break. Changing up sides again, going for that second, third ball. Try again. Wow. And wide open, too. This is probably the most wide open rack we've seen so far.
Yeah, without doubt. This is probably the best layout ever since the beginning of the match. No problems at the table. Now Kledio is looking at the solids here, but I don't see why you have to take the 2 now. Oh no, sorry, he's going for the stripes. My bad.
I kind of like the solids here. The 9 ball's laying a little weird. If I had my choice, I probably would have gone solids.
Can he come off 2 rails for the 13 into the side? He might be able to play on that 9 ball you just mentioned there. Maybe he's a bit too straight for that, so he's drawing it back. Oh, that 9 goes past the 4 ball. That does change things. From this camera angle, it's hard to tell, of course, but he clearly played for the 9 there.
Yeah, either way he's got options. If it didn't go, he could play the 13 or the orange ball and then come off the rail for the 9 in the lower right. But I think, like you said, it does go past the 4, barely, but still goes.
Yeah, he's looking to get rid of that 15 ball. Glued to the rail here. Can pot this, roll it in, send his cue ball mid-table. He would have a choice of 2 balls now. Natural angle, 13 or the 10. Yeah, likely to be 13, 12 and then the 10.
Very nice there. Would have liked to get closer to the 10 ball, but I think he's okay. It's funny how him and his brother look so much alike. They look exactly the same over the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose having an older brother who's a former world champion to model your game is not a bad luxury to have. And also have a sparring partner like his brother is, again, not a bad luxury to have.
Yeah, I mean, they even look alike, but I mean, I guess they are brothers, so it does make sense. They walk the same. He definitely looks up to him, I'd imagine.
Well, on that note, I would imagine one of their biggest ambition would probably be to reach the Mosconi team for Europe. 2 brothers, that would be for the first time ever in the history of the event.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think the Kopin Yi and Kopin Chung, they played in the first whatever cup. I forget what, the Reyes Cup. So I think that already happened in the Reyes Cup. But Mosconi Cup has not happened.
I feel like he's kind of forced to take the stripes here. You know, the solids are sitting a bit better for my liking. Considering where that 4 ball is, he might have to play the combination and accept the solids, stripes, sorry, but they're not too bad either. Well, he's looking at this 3 ball, so maybe he's trying to run into them straight after this shot. No, he's addressing the cue ball high, so he has other things in mind.
Yeah, I like that shot though. You play the 6 off the rail, off the 9 in the pocket to kind of break those out. I like that personally. Using the Predator Black Q, I believe. The Black Series. I'm not sure I like that decision. I would have played the 6 off those balls into the corner. To be honest, I probably, if I can't see the 2, I'm probably just hitting the 4 and leaving the cue ball right by the 4 on the rail and just making my opponent come with something. Maybe even kick at the 4, let it hit a rail and put the cue ball where the 4 ball is now. These 9 a.m. matches are tough, though. I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's what he should do.
Yeah, you're not a fan of the early scheduled matches?
I personally don't have a problem with them. It doesn't matter to me. I know a lot of players don't, though, but I usually get up kind of early in the morning anyway, opposed to most pool players. Most pool players, they get up at noon or 2 p.m. But I usually get up at like 7, 8, or 9, so it's all the same. Don't block yourself on the 4. Think he'll be okay, but these are not textbook outs. He's relying a lot on his shot making, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've seen Billy Thorpe produce a miraculous out on his turn a couple of racks ago. It might be in the air. It might be that Mississippi oxygen. Hasn't done a lot wrong though, Billy, nor has his opponent. It's mainly been the breaks. Both players have only missed one shot throughout the match so far. As you can see the stats there, provided by our stat man, Mike. Thanks for this. One remarkable stat is Kledio's almost potted twice the amount of balls, and he's only 2 racks in front. That is astonishing. can see Tyler Steyer in the background there. These players are playing the losers qualification. There is no room for error. Whoever loses is out. Just the chance that Billy was hoping for. Dry break by Kledio, even though that 11 was seriously considering to drop.
Yeah, I think he's playing the 9 off the 1 here, getting that 1 ball to clear out. Very smart. Really good shot. Don't come over too far. Don't come over too far. I think he'll be good here. I might shoot the 15 in the lower right, and then use low left, low right to come over for the 13 in the same pocket. That's just preference, though. I don't think it's the correct shot. $11 ball is okay here too.
Controlling the cue ball is the main part of the shot here. Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Nicely played. Perfect on the 10 ball. And that'd be a huge sigh of relief for him, because as soon as he puts this 10 ball, everything is now wide in the open. Just about connecting the dots, really.
I can tell he's getting a little more confident with his cue ball position on the table speed also. Really nice to see. I wonder if he's going to stay above this 8 or pop over. I think the 13 passes the lower left by the 1. That's what he just checked. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, must. And it looks like he's going to bring this within 1. He should. Oh, I had the whole pocket. Commentator's view. Sorry, guys. Do you play the 14 and the 8 in the same pocket, you think?
It depends how much angle he's going to leave himself. I think the 8 to the side is... it's very easy. But, you know, like you said earlier on, we've seen these middle pockets proven to be very tricky for these players, but I don't think it's in your favor to try and avoid playing certain shots, per se. Oh, he's going forward, so maybe the 8 to the right side pocket. Yeah, he's landed absolutely perfect on it. I don't care how tight they are, Chris. There is no reason to miss shots like these.
Very nice, very nice. Thorpe pulls within 1 in this race to 8. It's getting down to the later parts of the match. What he really needs is a good break and a ball in the break mainly. They've been breaking dry and the other have been running out, so maybe put a little more juice on this one, Billy, with the 3. I think Kaçi was hitting the 3rd ball on the break with draw, which is a little different, but it's one of the newer breaks people have been doing. And I think he's getting a better spread that way. Kaçi using Kaçi using the Pier Sport Shock from Predator, Pier 1080. No, he's using the... I think he uses the medium. Anyway, Billy joking with the ref. Always having fun out there. That's him. He's saying, "Don't slug me this time."
He's like, I'll buy you a beer if you give me a good rack. Yeah, still sticking to that second ball.
Good spread there. Let's see if anything went. Wow. You almost rather give your opponent the break if this keeps happening.
What would you do here, Chris? Solids or stripes?
I think this is more of a preference thing. Him going with stripes is totally okay. I wonder if the 12-9 ball is dead or if he can make that combo. If he can, it kind of opens this up quite a bit. But the 8 will still have a weird spot to get to. It's a nice rack to kind of think about. I like the 11 in the side next. And hopefully they can get to hopefully he can get to the 12-9 combo, which I'm sure he can. And then drop down for those last two. 10 will go on the side or the lower right. I like 11 and then 12-9 combo.
Would you try and shoot this with topspin or just stop?
You can just hit it with a stop shot. Maybe draw it a little bit. Depends on the angle. If he has a little angle on it, I would follow a little bit just so you don't get stuck. Just like that.
I tell you what, he's landed absolutely perfect on the 12, so you can now play on and off the side, put the 10 into the same bottom right corner pocket, because the 10 was a bit congested, like you mentioned earlier. He's got the perfect angle to play position on the 10, as he's just put that mini extension on the back of his cue. Nicely done, Chris. This was not easy when he came at the table, but bar any unforced errors, he's gonna put himself again 2 racks ahead, and we're closing in on that finishing line now.
That 8 does go on the side. If you get about where you're at with the cue ball now, maybe even a little, I'm not sure. I think he's just gonna go to where the cue ball is now. Don't really want to risk it and try too much. Maybe even try for the side. Go for a little bit of low, high left. Come for the 8 in the left-hand side. I don't think it grab on new cloth though is the only problem, so I think he's just gonna go to where he is now.
Yeah, felt like that was the shot. Try to widen the angle. Doesn't have to do anything spectacular here. Just drop this 8 ball in.
Might have to turn the ball in a little bit with some right spin. Score is 6-4 now in favor of Kledio Kaçi, Kaçi's brother. He's really doing a lot with the shot making. He's showing us what he's capable of. He's had a few crazy outs, and let's see how the break treats him. 6-4 race to 8.
Right, it's time for some score updates. Tyler Steyer, 5-2 up against Alex Kazakis. Victor Zielinski, 6-4 up against Lee Van Corteza. At the other table, on table 1, Justin Bergman, the local hero, he's 4-0 against Wojciech Szewczak from Poland. Oliver Solnoki from Hungary, he's 4-1 up against Hayato Hijikata from Japan. Robbie Capito, 3-0 against Walter Leikre. Fedor Gorst, 5-3 up against Konrad Juszczyszyn. And Dennis Grabe, 4-0 up against Hubert Lopotko. Now, if you're wondering where did I find that score, if you head on to our website, that is probilliardseries.com, and you select the event. This is, of course, the St. Louis World 8-Ball Men's Championships. You can follow all the proceedings live there. Now then, like you said, Chris, he's already produced a couple of crazy outs. He would love to repeat that feat and put himself on the hill now.
Yeah, you're kind of forced to pick solids here. Don't really have a good opening shot for stripes. You could play the 10 in the top left corner, but not ideal for an opening shot. I think the 2 balls is only a problem. Can maybe go 4-1 and then the 2 ball in the side past the 6. I think it goes. Just want to be careful on it. Don't want to hook yourself on the 15. Oh, it goes past. Way easier.
Now I would imagine landing straight on the 6 would be the best way forward. It's not the end of the world, of course, if he leaves himself an angle on it, but it just makes that positional shot in the 8-ball a lot easier. Billy Thorpe, there's not a lot he could do about this. He's only missed 1 shot throughout the match, and I have to say he's played really, really solid. But as we've seen throughout the event, that break is really challenging for all these top players, and that might be the deciding factor in this match. Remains to be seen, of course. But one thing is for certain, Kledio Kaçi now on the hill, he won't be breaking anymore in this match. After this one, of course.
You had to think of him as the favorite, being up in 7-4 on the hill, and no one's really figured out the break, but that was a break and run there. See if he can do another one, or if he's gonna let Billy back to the table for one more chance. But if I had to guess, Billy gets back to the table and runs out again, and he breaks again. I think he might go back to the middle, just because the other one isn't working anyway.
I just have to
I
add
might have
one
to
thing,
change it up.
Chris. Kledio has actually produced 3 break-and runs in this match already. Just double check the stats provided by our stat man, Mike. He's produced 3 break-and runs already, and his most recent was, of course, the previous rack, so he's looking to produce another break-and run and finish off the match.
See how it's looking. Wow, he changed it up, even though he just broke and ran the other way. You might have to go solids here, unless there's a combo on for the 2 stripes near the spot. I'd probably go solids here. The only ball you have to deal with is the 4. I'd probably start with the 1, then the 2. The only reason I was saying the 1 is because it doesn't pass in the top left, so it's a little easier to get that get that out of there. But if he feels comfortable playing this in the side, more power to him. Billy's got to feel a little heartbroken here, because it really was just his break.
Yeah. He's only missed 1 ball in the entire match. He's produced a couple of great outs as well in the process, but it remains to be seen if he's going to get another chance. It doesn't feel like he will.
There's 5 balls next. Maybe he's going to try to drop on the 4 now. Trying to roll forward from in between the stripe and the solid. Definitely not a bad idea. Let's see what kind of angle he's got. I think he can do it. He might hit the top side of the 4. So you have to be careful, but I do think it's possible.
I was just having another glance at the stats there, Chris. Billy Thorpe, his actual Fargo rating or player overall performance in this match alone is 868. Now that is an overall performance that would get you through most matches, but his opponent, he's on 945. And it's like you said, it's the break. He's only 20% on the breaks. Break success, that is. So yeah, that's cost him this match. It's a tough school out there. No, this has gone wrong. Unless he can bank this, Billy might get to the table, you know.
I think Billy's the favorite to get to the table here. This kind of, the cards are stacked against Kaçi right now. This is not an amazing, especially with speed. We're trying to draw this ball for the shape. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Could you believe that?
Well, he played his worst positional shot of the match and probably his best recovery shot in the match in a row there. This 8-ball is still not a sitter, of course. Needs to take care of this. 8 into the side for the win.
Overcut.
Wow.
Billy with another chance. See if he can make it meaningful. He wants to slide up. This is a one pocket shot right here. Slide up for the lower right pocket on all 3 of those shots. Maybe those 14 and the 13. Yeah, I like Billy getting out here. And he'll be breaking again. I wonder what his break is going to look like. He's got to change something.
Yeah, and I don't know. Would be ridiculous to say he needs to run the whole match. Because if he's going to break... Oh my god. I think we were too much ahead of things there. But
no,
that shot...
he should have... He definitely should have got out there, but I feel a little bad for him. I think he was a little shocked that he got a shot and kind of rushed that shot for sure. This is not unmissable. This is definitely can be missed. Let's see if Kaçi does. Oh, too good. Well, Kledio Kaçi gets the win 8-4 over Billy Thorpe. Thank you for Aria Sorabi for commentating with me. This is Chris Reinhold, and we will see you in the next match of the Men's 8-Ball World Championships. See you guys in the next one.